Lists are usually trash. Most channels rank for clicks, not truth. Here's our attempt to do this honestly. Top 5 ranked, cited. The question sounds simple: which U.S. universities produce the most undergraduate alumni who go on to found VC-backed startups? PitchBook runs this data every year, tracking more than 173,000 founders globally. The 2025 edition covers company formation over the past decade, not just one hot cohort, but a sustained pipeline measured consistently across schools. The order might surprise you. Specifically, the school at number 1 is not the one most people would guess, and the argument for why it belongs there is stronger than it first appears. Let's go. 131 undergraduate founders over the past decade, 119 companies, and nearly $7 billion raised. The school at the bottom of this list also happens to run one of the most technically rigorous undergraduate programs in the country. What explains the comparatively low count? MIT graduates concentrate in sectors that are harder to fund in early stages: advanced hardware, computational biology, robotics, and climate technology. These are long-cycle bets that require significant capital before they meet a VC term sheet, and many stall at the prototype stage. The companies that do get funded tend to be technically differentiated in ways that are difficult to evaluate at seed. MIT's founder count is lower. Its companies are not necessarily less ambitious. They are playing a structurally longer game. 206 founders, 113 companies, and $120.4 billion raised. That capital figure is the highest in the top 5. Higher than Stanford, higher than Berkeley, despite fewer founders than either. Penn's Wharton School gives its undergraduates something most engineering heavy schools don't: fluency in institutional finance from day one. The data implies that Penn founders raise larger rounds from larger funds. Whether that reflects deal quality, pitching skill, or direct access to the financial network is a legitimate debate. What is not in dispute is the capital figure. A school ranked 4th by founder count ranks 1st by total dollars attracted. If you measure startup output by capital deployed, not companies started, Penn belongs higher than 4th on this list. 355 founders, 237 companies, or $61.6 billion raised. Harvard does not have a traditional engineering school in the way MIT or Berkeley does. Its applied sciences faculty is comparatively small and young. Yet Harvard consistently ranks top 3 in VC-backed founder output. The explanation is network density. Harvard alumni are disproportionately represented in finance, consulting, and law, which means Harvard founders already know where capital lies and how to get a meeting before they have a product. The companies coming out of Harvard tend to cluster in consumer internet, enterprise software, healthcare services, and fintech, sectors that scale on capital and connections more than on proprietary technology. The network is the moat. 355 founders over a decade is what that moat produces. 519 founders, 380 companies, $122 billion raised. Stanford has been synonymous with Silicon Valley entrepreneurship for 5 decades. The university's physical location, adjacent to Sand Hill Road, where a significant share of the country's venture capital is managed, is infrastructure, not coincidence. Stanford alumni are also unusually well represented among venture capitalists themselves, which means the alumni network simultaneously produces founders and funds them. It sits at number 2 here by raw founder count, trailing Berkeley by about 285 founders over the decade. But the $102 billion raised represents a higher capital per company ratio than Berkeley's numbers. Stanford's ecosystem converts at a higher dollar value per company. The network is dense, it is well funded, and it works. 804 founders, 650 companies, a $69 billion raised. The public university at the top of a list that includes Stanford, Harvard, MIT, and Penn. Here is the argument. Berkeley graduates roughly 6,000 undergraduates per year. Stanford graduates around 1,700. Pipeline scale matters. But scale alone does not explain it, because large state universities elsewhere in the data appear at significantly lower numbers. What Berkeley adds to raw scale is one of the strongest electrical engineering and computer science programs in the world, and a research culture that feeds directly into applied technology companies and the same geographic proximity to Silicon Valley that Stanford benefits from. And Berkeley has led PitchBook's undergraduate founder rankings for 3 consecutive years. The data is not an anomaly, it is a structural result. The PitchBook dataset covers a decade and more than 173,000 founders. What it shows is that VC-backed startup creation is not distributed according to prestige rank or selectivity scores. The factors that predict it are pipeline scale, proximity to capital, and the type of professional network your alumni build after they leave. Berkeley checks all 3 at a public university cost. If you would rank these differently, the comments are open and bring evidence. Until next time.